antidisestablishmentarianism. A 12-syllable word. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the point of a word, making a word, to convey a meaning or a group of concepts more concisely than you could in an entire sentence? Isn't that the point? I mean, it's practically a sentence into of itself. Let's check that. It's practically a word. It's practically a sentence of itself. Yeah, that's 11 syllables. It is practically a It is practically a sentence unto itself. It's 13 unto. Okay, it's practically a sentence unto itself. 12 syllables. Okay, so it is basically, yeah, it's practically a sentence unto itself. Anyway, okay, what does it mean? And can we convey that meaning just as concisely with an entire sentence? Okay, let's break it down. Establishment. Okay, we know what that is. It's established. Okay, establishmentarianism. Okay, I think that Tarianism was probably added on after the anti, or the dis. So disestablishmentarianism, not to be confused with Arianism of the Nazi type, but maybe, it could be. But I mean, it could apply. But anyway, not etymologically. Okay. Disestablishmentarianism. Okay, so that's a movement, because it's an ism, against the establishment. Okay, so putting an anti in front of that, anti-disestablishmentarianism would mean those against the establishment. So it's a double negative, and that'd mean pro-establishment, wouldn't it? So I don't see how it really makes any sense, as to why you wouldn't just say pro-establishment. Pro-establishment. That's 5 syllables. Unless, the only scenario I can think of where it makes sense, and isn't just complete pseudo-intellectual babble, would be in a situation where there was an uprising or rebellion against a monarchy, and yet there was a third party. And the rebellion against the monarchy would be considered the disestablishmentarianists. And the third party would be those who were against the disestablishmentarianists, because the disestablishmentarianists would have had a particular doctrine of their own, which the anti-disestablishmentarianists were not privy to, or didn't like anyway. But they weren't for the crown. They weren't for the establishment either. So that makes that clear. Anti-disestablishmentarianism. So they were against the rebels, yet they were against the monarchy. So can we say that clearly without double negatives in a sentence that's less than 12 syllables? Let's see. Those of us against the rebellion. Those of us against the rebellion. That's already 10. So, see, we against the rebels. We against the rebels. That's 6. So far, so good. Yet against the crown. We against the rebels, yet against the crown. 11 syllables instead of 12. It's pseudo-intellectual babble. It's got. There's. I mean, even in that sense, even in that case where it actually can make sense, it's still a double negative, and it's still not as concise as you can say it in a whole world. I mean, in a whole word. I mean, we against the rebels, yet against the crown. Okay, that's much easier to understand for a layman who doesn't know Latin or whatever, you know. And it's not, or, you know, it's just anti-disestablishment. It's just so pompous. I mean, and it's a double negative. I mean, why does the word exist?